Hi, it's Joelle from Elemental Arts Tattoo, and today we're going to check out a new product. I picked this up off of Amazon. It's called UberNumb. It's pretty reasonably priced, which is why I wanted to give it a try. It does have 5% lidocaine, which is what I'm always looking for in a numbing product, because that's really the important part. So this has been sitting on him for probably about an hour and 15 minutes or so now. We're going to take the bandage off, get started, and see how it's working.
So far, I really haven't felt any difference. Haven't felt like a generalized numbing or anything, but I also haven't felt any pain in that area. There hasn't been any stimulus. It's just felt like I was wrapped up in plastic wrap for the last hour.
Well, we haven't started the tattoo or anything yet, so the real test will be when we start. So with products like these, you generally want to put them on pretty thick. About a 1/4 inch layer is going to be ideal. You'll put it on the area and then leave it for an hour to an hour and a half or so for it to really sink in. You do definitely want to plastic wrap it because you don't want it to evaporate or go away. You want to basically trap it in the area for a good amount of time. I think a common mistake people make is taking it off too soon, so not leaving it long enough, and not putting a thick enough layer. You definitely want to go ahead and goop it on with stuff like this.
I was really surprised when she applied it to my arm, just how much stuff she was putting on my arm. It kind of, it seemed like a lot, let's just put it that way. But hopefully now it'll seem like it was worthwhile.
So, just going to start with touching up a line here and there.
Now that she's touching it, it feels completely numb. Yeah, go ahead. Is the tattoo machine in me right now?
Yep.
I don't feel anything at all. Like, while she's touching me and, like, wiping me, it feels like a numbed area, almost like I was shot up with Novocaine or something like that. Like, this machine is really, like, actually going into me right now. Joelle.
So, seems like it's working pretty well then.
We've used a lot of different products and experimented with a lot of different products, and I had been tattooed in the past pretty extensively without any kind of an anesthetic product. Since Joelle's been tattooing me and since we've been making these videos and such, we've tried a lot of different anesthetic products, and I haven't had anything work on me so strongly where I couldn't feel that there was a machine going into my skin at all. Like, I really can't feel anything in the area. Like, almost down to the bone right now. Like, I feel pressure against, like, the bone in the back of my arm from her hand, but I can't feel the actual needles going into my skin or anything. Like, right there, I felt like something was touching me, but I think she was out towards the edge of the area that got numbed up, too. Is that correct, Joelle?
It should all be pretty numbed up, but it's definitely a sensitive spot here. I'm getting towards the inner arm. The skin is pretty thin there, so it would definitely be considered a sensitive area. So I wouldn't be surprised if you felt a little bit more, but it would probably be a lot worse.
But I don't feel the actual pinchiness at all. Like, if you've been tattooed a lot, there's different types of pain from tattooing, but there's almost like a pinchy feeling sometimes, and like that I'm not feeling it. I'm feeling like that there's something going into me, but without it's like a period without the exclamation point is the best way to, but it's weird, and I can feel, it feels to me like she's towards the edge of the affected area, and that when she gets in the center of the infected area, like, she could probably drive a nail into my arm and I wouldn't feel a thing. Like, almost like numbing down to the elbow kind of deal. But for getting the back of my arm tattooed with red ink, I'm just fine with that. Honestly, I've never had great experiences with red ink, and maybe it's just a mental thing. I really don't know. I don't care either. It always hurt a lot. So I'm cool.
Alright, so we'll probably get some video of me doing the actual tattoo now, and then we'll come back maybe about an hour or so in and see how he's feeling about it then.
See if I'm crying like a little girl. It'll be fun. Stay tuned.
God is good, so let's color in his book. God wears God and God wears rayon, can mend a broken crayon. God is honest, the epic Viola, let's all thank it for all Viola.
Alright, well, we are back. We have actually completed the tattoo by now. Let Jan go ahead and give you some of his reactions. Again, we use the UberNumb. Found this on Amazon. It's about, I think, $18, $19 for a 2-ounce jar. So it's fairly reasonable. What'd you think, Jan?
Overall, for the first half hour, I felt like nothing. It was like incredible. Felt like I was numb. Then after a half hour, I started kind of feeling the pinchy part again, a little bit of like the heat feeling. Then the last 15 minutes, the tattoo did last about an hour. It was about the entire time of the tattoo. The last 15 minutes, I felt like there was something numbing me a bit, but I could still almost feel like I was getting tattooed again. But also by then, she's blending in layers of color and stuff like that. So she was going into areas she had already tattooed in. So I don't think anything at that point would have really mattered. I don't know if the initial effect would have even gotten me through that without feeling anything. So
I tried this stuff when I tattooed my knee recently too, and I found that it was pretty effective at first, but it seemed like it wore off quicker than other ones I've used. It's hard to say though, because I was shading my knee. So, it's going to be a tough spot kind of no matter what. I'm going to have to go back in and shade my knee again probably in a couple weeks. So at that point, I think I'll compare it to the Lidocaine 5, which is one I've talked about in previous videos. Probably my favorite at this point. And that'll give me a better idea because I'll be doing the exact same thing pretty much. So I'll be able to compare it a little bit better. But I would say right now, I feel like the other one lasts a little bit longer. But I think I'm going to test it out again and see how it compares when I'm doing like the exact same thing pretty much.
I really did think for me personally, the initial numbness of this was more so than the other products. I felt more numb right off the bat, like numb, where the other things, like, they did last longer, I think, but the baseline numbness wasn't quite as strong. Like, the initial hit of this, like, she could have drove a nail into my elbow and I wouldn't have even known, like.
I mean, they all have the same amount of lidocaine, so to me, I think that they're all very, very similar. I think the difference is how long you leave it on ahead of time. I think the longer you leave it on, the better initially it's going to be. But, I mean, it might be other stuff they put in it that facilitates it better. I'm not sure. I'm definitely not a scientist, so we test them all out so that hopefully we can find the best one for you. Why don't you show them your new tattoo?
All right. So here's what we got. Tell your mom I love her. But
Well, until next time, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Check us out online, www.elementalartstattoo.com. We'll catch you next time.
thanks for watching.